Hello, this is, it's Tetris on the Tetris.com website. You can just play Tetris for free, and I thought I would try it out. I've got a few plays in. There are options. I disabled mouse control because I don't know how that would work. I changed, you can just remap these keyboard keys if you want. I changed, rotate left to shift because the default was Z, which I guess you're supposed to do with your left hand and the other ones with your right hand on a normal keyboard, but I thought that was weird. I don't really use this much anyway. I don't use hold because I'm a troglodyte. I'll turn animations and ghost piece back on. Those are on by default. I tweaked the volume for recording. Music type, there's three types. The type 1 is the traditional Russian style, like Russian folk dance music. So, and that's obviously the best one. So I'm leaving it on that. I think one of the others might have been a remix of it that wasn't as good. Basically, just why would you not do that one? Okay, so I'm just playing using my keyboard keys, and so as far as like versions of Tetris that you can actually get, like even ones you can buy, I mean, I've bought most of the recent like PlayStation console releases of Tetris. There was an EA one, I think it might have just been called, I don't remember what it was called, on PS3. It was kind of a, it had different modes and stuff, but it was kind of a uninspired one, and it was EA, so that was gross. Then on PS4 there was what did I do with Tetris? There was Puyo Puyo Tetris, which was Sega's thing where they mixed Puyo Puyo which is a Sega game, I guess, and Tetris together, which was cute and all. I mean, I don't really like Puyo Puyo actually, but the Tetris was alright. It did have a lot of cartoonish characters and effects and stuff in it. And also the longest mode I think you can play in that is Marathon, which is 150 lines cleared. Whereas on this one, you can, I have gotten nowhere near it, but on, I was looking around YouTube and I saw a video of a guy who got to level, what am I doing? Got to level 300 on this, and then it ended. So it looks like you can play up to level 300. Of course, then there's replayability if you're into score, because like to get the maximum score you would have to do a perfect play, which would I guess entail getting 75 Tetrises, right? Like only clearing lines via Tetrises, which would be tough. So yeah, if you can do that, I guess, you should make a video. I mean, don't watch my video for good play, because you won't find it. But yeah, I mean, this plays better than the Sega one. There's also a Tetris Effect, which I did not get because the graphics were kind of flashy, and I'm sometimes photosensitive, and I didn't want the flashing. So, but as far as just playing Tetris, I mean, this website version kind of the best one that I have access to. I do have a pretty decent one on PS1, a Japanese simple series one. Actually, another interesting one I looked up the other day was, I think it's called the Tetris Collection, which was another simple, it was 2500 simple series that was on PS2 in Japan. Only came out in Japan. It's got the Genesis or Mega Drive version, but it's also got a new version made by M2 on there. M2 does real good work. It looks pretty cool, maybe slightly flashy on the Tetris or the line clearing effect. But that one apparently does have an infinite mode, according to what I read. Kind of tempted to get that, but also not super. I mean, it's got some kind of goofy backgrounds and animation, and I mean, I can just play this. This is pretty good. So anyway, this is with the default settings. Also, if you like Alt-Tab, maybe it's just Tab, it pauses, which is nice. So if the boss is coming, yeah, it's Alt-Tab, pauses, so it loses focus. I wonder, let's see. Yeah, if it loses focus, it pauses, so that's pretty cool. There are a couple other games when you, well, let me get the options the way I want them. Turn off the animations and the ghost piece. The ghost piece is that frame you see at the bottom that sort of surfs over the pieces. Kind of makes it easy to see where your drop is going to go. I think if I quit... Okay, yeah, there's more games. So this one is... Actually, I don't remember it. Oh, yeah, you're like sort of blowing holes in the ground to get to gems in the ground, and the ground is sort of coming up, and it's, you know, it's still dropping Tetris blocks kind of, but I don't know, I didn't really like that one. Mindbender is basically Tetris, except every so often there's a question mark block, and when you clear the question mark block, something wacky happens, like the playfield flips from left to right, or flips top to bottom or something. I don't know, it's kind of not that compelling. So anyway, that's that. I've set it back to my settings, so let me just play. I was looking up stuff about Tetris that I don't know, I feel compelled to blabber about. See if I can recenter this. Look at me. So here goes. This is my pro play. Please don't think it's pro play. It's not. Like, I mean, you can get really discouraged watching people who actually play Tetris, like, at a pro level, because they're, like, dropping blocks faster than you can even see. They're forming lines faster than you can even see what's going on. It's so absurd. But, you know, don't worry about what other people do. Just have fun. And, you know, I can find it very easy to get discouraged by Tetris after a while because, you know, it just gets faster and faster, and inevitably, like, I feel like I'm going to lose, right? Like, what? That's sort of just a sense of impending doom, so I don't know. We'll see how long. I think I kind of play Tetris for a while, and then I have to stop because it gets depressing. I don't know. Maybe I can get past that. So, of course, Tetris was initially designed by a Russian guy, a Russian computer scientist named Alexey Pajitnov. Yeah, I did that good. Pajitnov, I don't know. I should have, like, tried to hear somebody pronouncing his name. Anyway, he was a speech recognition researcher at the Soviet Academy of Sciences. And when they would get new equipment, like they got a new computer system or something, he was one of the people whose job it was to test the equipment out. And this was back in like the late 70s. And so like getting a new computer system was a big deal, and it would take a while to figure out how to work it and all of this stuff. And so one of the things they did to test it was they would write a simple program and, you know, run it on the system and see how the system did running this simple program. So that was his excuse. And it sounded like maybe there were other people who did it too, to make the program a little game. So that was how he got away with writing this little game, and he made this game one time to test the new system. And it was it was in black and white. It was like ASCII, like block characters or something. But it was basically Tetris, and he, was doing what you're doing here. Oh shoot! Now I'm in trouble. And he called it Tetris, with Tetris, or Tetra meaning four, and then sticking on the end of the name of his favorite game in English, I guess, and his favorite game, I guess, was tennis. So it's 4 plus tennis. I don't know. Anyway, that's what he named it. Man, this is going downhill. Oh no. This is all, I mean, I just read Wikipedia, you know. It could be complete BS, I suppose. That would be terrible. Just spreading this information about Tetris. And he wanted, apparently to do something with this game, but he didn't really know, you know, what to do. He ended up, he gave the rights to the Soviet Academy of Sciences because they were going to help him distribute it or something. So the Soviet Academy got the rights. There was also this organization that at the time in the Soviet Union called Elektronorg Technica, which was the organization in charge of like software licensing for the state. It was a state organization. It later went private, and so they the rights kind of devolved to them, or they handled the rights because they handled all the rights for software in the Soviet Union or something like that. So and Elektronorg Technica because that's a terrible name. It was known as ELORG for short. ELORG, ELORG in Western characters, I guess. So they kind of had the rights, and the rights to the game went through a sort of tortuous route because this Western guy, Stein, I think he was American, he was in Hungary, and he saw a demonstration or something of the game, and he sensed this could be a winner. He faxed Pajitnov and Pajitnov's friend in Russia at the academy. He faxed them about, you know, inquiring about getting the rights, but in U.S. business law, a fax could be seen as a whatchamacallit, a contract. It's, you know, it's a physical thing, I guess. And they didn't know that. So Stein basically, because he faxed them and they replied with some interest to his inquiry, I guess they faxed him back. I don't know. He took that as okay, legally I now have a contract with these guys. So they had no idea. They just thought, oh, this guy asked us about it. You know, we said, yeah, you know, we'd consider it. That's as far as they knew. That was it. As far as he was concerned, he now had a contract to sell the game. So he went around the world selling the rights to software makers to make Tetris games. And Tetris became, he sold all these Tetris games, started popping up that he was selling the rights to, completely unknown to Russia or to Pajitnov or his friend. And it's just kind of ridiculous. Of course, eventually Nintendo got involved through another guy who was, I think, a friend of Pajitnov's. I think he's Norwegian. He's currently still a business partner with Pajitnov. I forget his name because I'm a terrible person. He was close to, who was the head honcho at Nintendo? Anyway, that guy. So he brought it up with Nintendo, and they were looking at kicking off their new handheld line, the Game Boy, and they wanted to have something, you know, make a splash with the Game Boy. And they thought this looked like an ideal fit for the Game Boy, this very simple game that could run on the system, but was very compelling, you know, without needing a whole lot of horsepower or something, and I just did the wrong thing. So Nintendo got involved, and of course Nintendo was not interested in sharing the rights with anybody. They used their legal wiles and started suing other people who thought they had the rights, and basically saying, you guys don't have the rights, because Nintendo, I think it was the Norwegian guy, he went and talked to the people in Russia, the people at the Academy of Sciences, and I think at ELORG, and he made deals with them. He also befriended Pajitnov. So this guy kind of contacted all the right people and basically Nintendo, working through that guy, got in, kind of snuck the thing away from Stein, and everybody that Stein had licensed the game to, and they sent like cease and desist to Atari, who had gotten a license through Stein, I think, and all this stuff. So that's how business went. But of course, it was quite a good version of Tetris that Nintendo ended up putting out. Oh boy. And so it's not like, who cares what business people do to each other, I guess. But the good news, kind of, if you want to have a good human story, I don't know. I hope seems like a cool guy, but I don't know anything about him really. Anyway, Pajitnov, he was a successful. We eventually realized he was a successful software developer, and he achieved international fame. He already had it before he even knew he had it. Okay, that was a bad score. He moved to, I think I just hit this to start again. He and his friend emigrated to the United States in 1991. And actually, I didn't know that, but I also didn't know that he has been living in the Seattle area since 1991. So, he and I were practically neighbors, because I lived in Seattle all this time. Of course, now I'm in Eastern Washington State because Seattle got too expensive. But anyway, yeah, now he currently lives in on the east side, kind of I think it's a suburb or something, east side of Seattle. So that's cool. He was making software for Spectrum Holobyte, I think, who had handled a port of Tetris, I think, through that same Norwegian fellow. Anyway, because that guy had a software company called Bulletproof Software, and then it became Blue Planet Software, and they currently own 50%, I think, of the worldwide licensing rights, and then Tetris Holding Company holds the other 50%, and Tetris itself is owned by the Tetris company, so it's all, and which is Pajitnov and this Norwegian guy, basically. So anyway, Pajitnov, he moved to the States in 91. The rights that he had signed to the Soviet Academy of Sciences, and those reverted to him 10 years later, which was part of the initial contract with them. So that was in 96, he got those rights back. And then he and and the Norwegian guys, his business partner, they were able to buy the rights that Elorg had. Elorg was by then a privately held company, no longer a Russian state organization, but they just, were able to just give him a bunch of money to get the rest of the rights to the game back. So by early 2000s, the original developer of the game had the rights to his game back, and he still does today, and he's an American citizen now, and I think like the Tetris Holding Company is they're headquartered in New Mexico, I want to say, Nevada, something like that. I don't know, probably favorable tax laws or something, who knows. But anyway, it's all because I was thinking, okay, well, Russia not behaving well these days. Do I want to be recording a game that might be sending profits to Russia? And the answer to that was obviously no, but I looked it up, and well, good news is I don't think Russia sees any money from any Tetris these days, so I think that's probably will be all taken care of by now. Good job, Alexey Pajitnov. The music that you're hearing, this music, it's actually a requirement now that any official port of Tetris, in addition to having to play in certain ways, having to have certain gameplay features, it has to have at least one version of this music. This music was, of course, made famous in the original version, the Game Boy version, I think, of Tetris, was this sort of Russian folk music, which is this very catchy, very pleasant tune. And it's actually Look at me. It's a Russian folk tune that came from a... Let's see, how did this go? Well, it came from a song, and the song came from a poem. And the name of this work is called Koro by Neki. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. And it was originally a poem by Nikolai Nekrasov, a Russian poet. And this was in the 1860s. This poem was written and became a song as well in the 1860s, a folk song. Nekrasov was... He was sort of beloved among the Russian intelligentsia and so forth because for his sort of loving portrayals of Russian peasants. Of course, this was back before the Russian Revolution, and so there was a sort of serf system in Russia, and there were the rich people on their estates, and the labor was done by peasants who lived on the land and worked the land for these rich landowners and so forth. Nekrasov, for instance, was a favorite poet of Fyodor Dostoevsky, the famous Russian novelist and so forth. And anyway, Nekrasov is the guy who wrote Kuro by Neki, the poem that became a folk song that, 80-some years later, became a hit piece of music in the Game Boy version of Tetris. So there you go. And this is, of course, not the original version that was in the Game Boy version. It's kind of a remixed version. It's pretty good. There's a version of it you can queue up in the and play with as your background music in, for instance, Puyo Puyo Tetris on the PS4. Although if you do that, then like on YouTube, there's some kind of copyright claim because there's some other rights holder that claims, I think it's a Japanese rights holder for that version of Koro by Neki, which kind of blows. I haven't had that problem so far with this in one little test stream I did, so I don't know, maybe it's better in that regard. I'm not really holding my breath, but I guess I'll find out. Koro by Neki, the original poem, I have not seen a English translation, but according to the summary on Wikipedia, the song does not end this way. The song ends and everybody's kind of happy. Like it's about the song is about a peddler who's going around, and he comes to this village, and there's this young woman that he meets, and they kind of become enamored with each other. I'm a little shaky on these parts because I didn't really read it, but it's something that he gets her to, or he sort of seduces her and gets her to accept a necklace, and in exchange she is nice to him, and they have a nice evening or something. I don't know exactly. And then that's kind of where I think the song ends. In the original poem, though, the original poem is much longer, and he ends up leaving the next day. I think it was the next day, and on the way back through the forest, he meets a forest ranger, and I think he was lost or something. So the forest ranger, they want. I think he might have had some other people with him. They were lost. They asked the ranger for directions or something like that, and so the ranger said, "Yeah, I'll help you guys out." But then the ranger realized that these people were helpless, and they seemed to have some boxes of goods or something with them. This guy was, the guy was a peddler, so he had his goods with him. So the forest ranger just led them into a dark part of the forest and murdered them and stole their stuff. That's the end of and then the police eventually find the bodies, and I don't know if they found the murderer. Anyway, so a very Russian story with a dark ending. is the original poem behind this lovely music that you get to listen to while you're playing Tetris. So just keep that in mind as you play. It's all about a forest ranger murdering some traveling merchants, peddlers, after they had just a nice time with the peasants. Anyway, so there you go. And you can have a good time with Tetris and then get murdered in the figurative forest of blocks. Do you notice how, like, when you level up, which is when you clear 10 lines, it's gonna take me, no, that's not great. Okay, I've got 74, 75, no, oh, great. I'm never gonna get there. Yeah, this is, I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't have started trying to pay attention. I do worse when I pay attention, apparently. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's a pro move. Okay, watch this so I can fix it. Hey. See, she whispers level up. That's kind of weird. Is that supposed to... Is that the young peasant girl from the original poem whispering to us? She doesn't know that her romantic lover of the previous evening has gone away in the woods and been murdered by a evil forest ranger. I'm not sure forest ranger is an exact comparison to what we have these days. I don't think it actually meant like a park ranger, but I don't know. Anyway, somebody killed him in the forest. Oh, it's going... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, boy. How did I screw that up? No, get over there. Yeah. Oh, shoot. There. No, get over it. Oh, it won't do it. Oh, dang it. And so you only get like 15 clicks once you're sort of stuck, and then it'll just fix itself there. There was I think it was in a version called Tetris Worlds where before they had that 15 move limit, and you could just rotate the piece forever apparently, and basically just tread water if you were really sort of worried. We did. Oh no. Well, this is kind of weird because it goes like way longer than you would think. Well, 75,000. Level 11. You know, when I got that 85,000 score, I don't think I got to level 11. I think that was more like level 8. So obviously I should be trying to get more Tetrises because I can't handle these higher speeds. But yeah, apparently it goes to level 30, which would probably just be gross. Alright, well, full screen, I'll try one more. I don't know what I'm doing. Of course, if you have the ghost thing, you see, I don't play with the ghost piece because I was starting to find it distracting. Either that, or I just kind of felt like I'm just really just now, like I don't even look up. I just look kind of down at the line of blocks, which of course probably helps you quite a bit. You don't have to move your eyes. You can just, and this would certainly help you do that, like, you know, ridiculous just stream of blocks coming down faster than anybody can see. But messy. And also, kind of like, you know, having this big thing dangling. You're looking up at this block sort of dangling, you know, this sort of Damocles over the head. And you have to aim a little without the ghost, right? You, oh, see, this is where I've just hosed myself. Oh, no. This is not going well. I don't know. This is terrible. I'm not going to get a high score now. Oh, how can this have gone so wrong? Oh. Okay, I can fix this one. Actually, I'm gonna turn off the ghost. I just do find it a little distracting. I'm probably play better with it, but you know, nuts to that. There, I fixed it almost. That probably wasn't the greatest idea. That's not a great idea either. Shoot. Well, too late. She says. Well, we're just going to end this. Just get in there. No Tetris. Oh, see there, if I had had the ghost piece, I would not have screwed up my aim. That was sloppy, but see, you gotta be on the ball. I got sloppy. Level up. I want to clear those lines out, man. Starting again. I don't think I can rotate that in there, can I? I'm gonna try it. It's not gonna work. It works! Amazing. I'm the greatest. I'm not the greatest. Oh, see, I don't even know what to do here. That probably wasn't it. Ugh. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, gosh. How is this not working out? Cool. Okay, I bet I can wedge this in. No, I can't, can I? Oh no, I got carried away with my own power. Thought I could just wedge things in anywhere. So you can rotate things in maybe, but you cannot slide them in through a thing like that. Well, this is not getting me my Tetrises, needless to say. Oh, I screwed that up. Oh, well. Ooh. Oh, great. Oh, great. Hey, I got a Tetris, so I'm so bad at this game. I leveled up. I'm the best. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, good. Ew. Yeah. Man, this is not getting me the big points. Well, can't all be Tetris masters, I guess. Unless I just start playing Tetris like 24/7, then I'll someday be slightly less bad. What am I doing? Oh, you know, I could have just let it sit there on that upper where it had the 3 across, and it would have formed a line. It would have cleared them. That would have been the pro move. I got to start thinking like creatively like that. That would be amazing. Like, see, you could do this. Watch. Oh no, 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 like that. No. I mean, if that had been there, that's what I meant. Yeah, I'm good. That would have been clever looking. Oh geez, it just got a lot faster. Level 8. Level 8. This is not looking great. Level 8, not looking great. Got a Tetris though, look at that big money. Oh. No, that's not a Tetris. Oh boy. Ew, yeah, that's real good. Oh boy. Level 9. Level 9, feeling fine? Oh, just do it. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a good move. Why didn't I put it in the big hole at the end? It's too fast. This is insane. You. Well. good. Ugh. Oh no. Oh no. I can't even rotate it fast enough. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh yeah, this is gonna help. Oh, 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 God. Oh, get over there. Oh, why couldn't you have been the other one? No, why? Oh. Oh, this game is stressful, man. I don't know. That was. That's not the right thing to do. Yeah, how did that get over there? I just wherever you can fit them. Ooh, hey. Well, so I guess going for Tetrises is the way to get the higher score. Who would have thought? So yeah, that's tetris.com/play-Tetris. Don't put a hyphen in your URL, people. Come on, Alexey. I'm sure Alexey didn't do that himself. Alexey, you need to straighten this out. Don't put hyphens in your URLs. Oh look, it animates. Yeah, anyway, free Tetris plays real good as far as this scrub can tell. I like it. Why would I buy any Tetris product now? I've beat the system. I've gotten it for free, the best version of Tetris. I don't know. Anyway, that was my horrible Tetris play. Thank you for watching, and I probably gave out a bunch of disinformation about Tetris by misquoting Wikipedia. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Good night.